Let me tell you today we'll share a story about a poor monkey labeled dangerous and put in a shelter modern-day monkey jail. Spoiled since childhood, he had no clue what being wrong meant. He was just crying like a little kid, begging Will to take. All Will could do was comfort him, urging the court to make a decision faster. It felt more complicated than trying to find a dentist. During the long, boring wait, Caesar sensed hostility, as if he'd just mocked a group. He heard a voice and leaped into a cage, only to be immediately laughed at by the keeper. It was like he had just offended the right person. Other animals disliked him too, barking in a frenzy. Caesar had never seen such chaos. He roared in anger, venting his frustrations, and aware that dinner time would become his cage of complaints. At mealtime, every cage reached out, begging for food, but the grub was so awful even the vet wouldn't touch it. Caesar sniffed, made a disgusted face, tossed his at passing Marv, sparking his wrath. Marv quickly retaliated with a water cannon, hitting like a hammer smash. Caesar could only curl up in the corner until Marv's fury faded away, finally getting a moment to breathe. Lying alone in the icy cage, he endured the cold and hunger, but his longing for home burned hotter than a furnace. He picked up a stone to sketch a window on the wall, imagining home in his mind. Now, this was his only way of comforting himself. Humans didn't see him as human, neither did other monkeys. When Rocket saw him clothed, he tore them off, making him look like a clown. A bunch of monkeys rushed at him, and it turned into an Angry Birds scene, with shouts here and there. In a panic, Caesar climbed a big tree, but against so many enemies, he had nowhere to run. He quickly fell down, but leader Rocket still pursued him like an undead avenger. Luckily, at that moment, Moth popped up and used a tranquilizer gun to stop this deadly mammoth. Caesar endured great humiliation, hoping Will would take him back, only to feel deeper disappointment on seeing Will a true case of injustice upon injustice. Will saw the scars on him and got so mad, trying to ask Marv only to be fired back with the question. His temper was skyrocketing. He wanted to take Caesar away but violated the law. It was like breaking the family rules. Eventually, Will could only throw down some harsh words, comfort Caesar a bit, and then left, leaving his hope shattered like soap. Caesar screamed in despair, totally oblivious to Will's woes, just feeling abandoned again, hitting rock bottom. He was no longer that spoiled little monkey, but the leader in transformation, with the fierce spirit igniting in him. The next day during activity time, he risked enraging Rocket and climbed to the top of a tree, acting like the seven of monkeys. He noticed the skylight above was easy to open, and the little con down below was untouchable. It was truly a silent war. When Marv showed up to play with his friends using a stun baton, it felt like an ultra-funny animal show. But Caesar was utterly fearless, even taunting him back. His courage was on par with superheroes. Caesar grabbed Marv by the neck. Talk about an epic comeback moment. The audience was left in shock. Marv quickly fought back with the stun baton, but Caesar cleverly let go. This was truly a comedy of errors moment. Who would have thought the monkeys understood striking from the east while attacking the west? It was a strategy no one expected. At night, he tied a bottle opener to a branch. It was the start of the monkey's tool invention contest. Caesar carefully opened the cage, and sure enough, like a hero, he saved the trapped little con. But the little con hesitated to come out, too scared after being locked up so long. Poor little guy was such a timid sweetheart. Caesar peeked out and saw the little con rolling around with excitement. It was a moment of freedom release. Being locked up so long couldn't imprison their longing for freedom. For the little con, paradise was right in front of him. He unleashed the pent-up passion until he was exhausted. After all, Caesar knew this was really a team-building exercise. Next up, Caesar woke the sleeping leader Rocket, like calling on the enemy in a Dark Knight style. He suddenly whacked Rocket with a piece of metal, sending him flying. It was an unexpected hero moment. Just then, the little con appeared behind, threatening Rocket. About as Caesar, it was a double submission moment. Caesar finally became the star leader, but before he figured out how to escape, Will joyfully returned for a visit. He bribed the warden and could take Caesar straight home. How magical, almost like a scene out of a movie. Yet Caesar had lost his previous spark, but eventually decided to return with Will under his urging. Seeing the hopeful eyes of his kind and the symbolic chains in Will's hands, it felt like a choice between power and responsibility. Caesar decisively shut the cage, realizing that no bond could overcome this gap, marking a true moment of choice within him. The warden rubbed his hands helplessly, realizing the grim truth about money's limits, while Marv laughed at Will's foolishness. It was a true battle of ignorance against law and reason. Caesar tossed a cookie to Rocket, ordering him to distribute it among the others, a scene that felt like power struggles and gains. But it's not enough. The stars rely too much. He must boost their intellect to test of collective self-improvement. Caesar knew how to make the animals smart. After all, shortly after his imprisonment, he got word to persuade the boss to restart the genetic drugs experiments. Though the boss was unwilling to bear the tremendous risks, he was certainly willing to take on the smaller risks.